wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
Everybody, it is Power Hour. I'm Steve. This is Power Hour with Steve, and it has been an exciting day of pain. Lots of chop, lots of back and forth. If you had a directional bias, you probably got shook out at least once. So it's been a tough one. We are in a trade right now, but it's looking like we're getting a little bit long in the tooth here for this long. I think we take the profit and just watch and see what it does, unless we wake up in the next minute or two. In general, we have this nice ascending triangle. You can see me scalping like a madman, waiting for a real move here. And we are going to see if this is going to catch right here in this imbalance. If not, we're out. We want to watch the high here. We've got to stop under this low candle just in case. And so far, this has been a day where it has been really tough to pick a spot. If you were playing, let's go to SPY. It's a little bit clearer how unclear the price action was, at least for me. So if you were playing the opening range break, you saw this pre-market low break. Maybe you were considering short. Did not break this one, though. But then we swept and broke this. I was looking long. Then we swept the low, broke this. Started to look short. Swept the high again. Swept the low again. Swept the high again. Swept the low again. We call this pain. We call this a seek and destroy pattern of expanding volatility. So since this chaos here, we've made some space for the move up. This one got sold hard. We're trying to sweep over this intermediate high on SPY and reclaim some sort of structure here. Then we could maybe argue a double bottom. But in general, it's been a tough one. This price action in the morning, this chopped me up. This chopped me up good. So one of my accounts hit max loss for the first time in over a month. I was hedging with another account, so that one's almost passed just because the swings are so wild. But it's not been a fun one, in my opinion. So we were looking for a catch in this imbalance. We did get that. We're going to draw that out. There they are. So this is a zone of interest, this wick. We're kind of fighting to retain that, as you can see right there. We basically came all the way up and tapped into this candle where we went down, up, and down. So this is an area where there was indecision and then sellers won. So we tapped back into that and did see sellers back there. So the price action, it's not that it's not making sense. It's just that this in the morning was very tough to play. I will say that Qs were easier because we saw a strong directional bias in terms of movement towards Qs, rotation into tech and out of RSP. So that explains why this was so much stronger out of the gates. And on this pullback here, you weren't looking short, if you were just watching Qs. If you were watching SPY, they undercut here, and that was a really rough look for longs. And I was in a call, and then it just came back to life, and I got out here, thankfully. But holy moly, I wish I was playing short side today. Just a little bit too stuck in a long bias, I think. So we are watching the progression of this. We want to see this price action where every time it wicks down in here, it's finding support. Be a little clearer on Qs. And so whenever one index is it's acting better, I guess you could say, I just kind of stick to that one. I watch that for kind of the lead. If Qs are leading, then I want to see if they can continue leading if I'm bullish, and if they start rolling if I'm bearish. So in general, that's easier for me than trying to make sense of price action on a chart that doesn't really make sense. And I think what's happening there is that the market's trading more off of this movement in tech. So the movement of SPY is a little bit less important, and the movement of Qs is a little more important. We can give more weight to it. So as of now, just hanging out, flagging here. Let's go around the horn and see what else is going on. Some mega caps are doing interesting things this week. We talked about yesterday about how we were looking for Apple to be strong. Definitely followed through today. The flow on this has been excellent. So these 285s went in the money. Now we're seeing 290s transact for, I believe, next week's Friday, maybe a month out, maybe the 19th expiry. Regardless, Really, really strong here. And you could tell yesterday when SPY was rolling here, Apple said, nah, we're breaking all-time highs, baby. And this move has continued. It is a massive draw, this 300 all the way up here. That's a massive draw, all of the gamma there. So Apple, I'm very bullish on, looking to hopefully find this little spot. I missed it this morning. It's just too fast out of the gates there. So Amazon was one of our swings. We did take profit on this guy here because I got an alert that we were way the heck up here, and I sold in one of these wicks. Felt like a genius. This was the only long I trimmed right here, though. So definitely some fluctuations in the options port there, but this saved the day selling Amazon up there. The reason I sold it up there, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I had a level there, so we'll look and see why. Okay, so there was this consolidation and this swing low. Yep, so this swing low, I wanted to retransact there and see if there were sellers. When we hit there and I started to see a wick forming after such a big surge, I said, hey, I don't know what's going on, if this is news or what. I still don't know, but I took the money there. So that's where I'm at with Amazon. I'm looking to see if it can rebase. I think it might need to come back, form a higher low off of maybe 227, 228, maybe fill this gap in here, 230. So I'll be watching the 230 for a re-entry there. Hey, welcome guys. Welcome guys. Glass half full. I am now on every power hour. You can come on in and find me every power hour except for Fridays, actually. So yeah, Monday through Thursday, I'm on the last hour of the day. We can hang out, trade together, go over some trade ideas. Good to see you in here. Let's see. Hi, bro. Do you play Steel Abrera? I don't know what that is. I do not play it, but now I'm curious. You got to tell me what that is. So Amazon is kind of setting up here. We do like the look of that. We're going to check out some other mega caps here. See how Microsoft's holding up. Decent. Very nice. Very strong. A little bit of weakness here. I want to see what Qs are doing. Hanging out. We're still respecting this zone. I will put a little alert. Let's put an alert if we lose that. Okay, so NVIDIA. This is one of the most important stories of the day, I think. Immense strength in the morning, but selling off. We got to watch these. We got to watch these. I happen to think that it's a fake or a back test of a breakout. But you got to admit, that's a scary daily candle. So you'd like to see a little bit of strength into close here and print a green candle, ideally over this little neckline at 183. Might be a bit of an ask, but let's look intraday and see if we can glean anything here. Pretty harsh here. I don't like the curl over here. Whenever you see this kind of move, very often, this is a dead cat and they need to release more steam. So you see this many candles up, call it 5, 10 candles this way, wiped out in 2 candles. And this is more constructive because it's a slower fall. We have a nice wipe out there. So I'd be watching for this low to hold. We could consider this a double bottom if it does. And this is interesting here. And I personally think that these guys want to bid. This is kind of looking decent, isn't it? The little wick back. Take a little baby position. Do I chase? I'd like one more wick down. I think I might have just missed the entry though, and that's okay if so. I'm going to keep an eye on this. Checking my book map. We got a little room up. We got a little bid on Qs. We like that. Put the order here. I think it'll fill. And I'll stop out real tight. Come on now. Get on down there. All right, while we wait for that to fill, let's check the indices. Nice and strong, very constructive. No worries there. Just flagging out on the 5-minute for a push over this swing. So that's what I would expect to happen. Maybe 5, 10 more minutes, 20 more minutes tops of sideways, then push up into the close. I do not think that we are going to close over 683. Don't think we're going to close over there. That's our gamma pin. I'm going to draw that out. It's actually 682 to 683 is the gamma zone. It's like a big congestion zone. So we were negotiating it here, tried to break down, tried to break out, did break down, back test, broke down again, back testing again. We got to be a little careful if this fails, but in general, this is looking to me like it wants to ramp. I think the market just needs a little bit of stability for the underlying bid to just catch up and come on in. That's kind of the thesis I've been operating under. So no worries if it needs a few more minutes here. Let's check on VIX. Basing? Or with more context, is it bear flag? Consolidating at the bottom of this? Not really sure. On the daily, we've got an interesting look because we are either breaking down out of this whole VIX regime, or VXX regime, I should say. The VIX chart's a little bit different. But in general, we're trading at the bottom of a range where either the bottom can fall out on VIX, and that gives us a lot of room to just coast up into positive gamma, or it can post a bottom, can try to bounce, SPY can pull back, and that would be totally acceptable too, even if it's not what we really want to see. Still just coiling. We're okay with that. So a few trades today that I took. Rivian has been very strong. I'm in this for swing, and I just keep on adding every time it looks good. Took a little scalp there. But in the other account, this is one that I just keep on buying any red day. And it just keeps on going up. I think this one is breaking out big time. So if we look at the daily, we are so close to a major base breakout here. We broke out, swept all of these highs except for this one. Then we flushed out and held a higher low. And so that's a major break of structure here when we started. Let's see. This one was the first break of structure where we made a higher high or higher low and a higher high. Then it started doing higher or consolidation here, higher low, lower high. And this again, just crunching up until this breakout. And now this higher low got me very interested. We were getting involved right in here into the 15 break, still holding core position. I actually added some today because I think it's just going to keep on going here. So the first trim is going to be 18, 20-ish. We're going to keep watching that. I think Qs are finally making our move. Oops. Starting to go a little bit. Looks like NVIDIA never filled me, so I'm sure that's straight vertical. What is this? Where's my fill? That's strange. I should have gotten filled there. Okay, I'm going to bank on this being a wick down and bounce back. I'll protect myself there. Could protect myself under there. I don't like these entries nearly as much as the wick downs, because now there's always the potential that this is just a straight rejection. This is not unheard of to, bounce up and then just wick back to neckline, though, even if we are going up. So, well, see what happens. Tight stop. All right, what else is going on? I think ONDS is still cooking a breakout. We're going to keep an, ooh, we like that. We like that a lot. So this is a swing for us. And I'll show you why. This thing is getting real tight in this consolidation. So you got that downtrend line that it's cooking. Could draw it like that, but I like it more like that. A little fake breakdown, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches there, respecting this. And the biggest thing is in the higher time frame. Man, oh man, am I bullish on this thing. Giant cup and starting to be a handle. And this is the IPO range that it broke. So it 10 bagged here from $1 to 10 off of very, very low institutional ownership. So it goes up fast, it goes down fast, but it did a 50% retrace of this massive parabolic move, and all the institutional owners started piling in under the 50 fib here from $5 to $6. They are very smart. They waited for the pullback, they got in, they're already up 30+%, even more. And hey man, we're just getting started if we're right. If we're right, we're getting a breakout here. The next target will be this 9 to 950. And then, I mean, honestly, I bet it pops up real quick, fills in this imbalance, comes back just a little, then clears out the 10, comes back a little, and then eventually works its way up to this 1168. If we can surge through here, then we're talking massive measured move breakout, like 15 to 20 bucks, 16 to 20 bucks. So that is why I have skin in this game. I think it is a very, very good risk reward setup. But you gotta be gotta be willing to weather some pain. Like these consolidation days, that's it's like a down 12%, 15% 4-day consolidation. So you gotta be tough. Yo, Talk, what is up? What is up? Oh yeah, and we gotta talk about AMD. I was biased to the downside on this. I did not play it. Wish I did. This thing was heavy as heck off of the 225. It had a big gamma node down at 215 and just boom right there. There's another one down at 210. I think it could reach down for that. This is a heck of a megaphone type beat, something like that. Call it flat top bottom maybe. Maybe it comes down, sweeps this out. 210. There's a big consolidation here that boosted us and started this crazy move. So it could be somewhere in there as well. Yeah, I think that semiconductors are going to be an important thing to watch into the end of the week here. It's interesting to note, like I said, AMD, big relative weakness. SMH, very strong. I would assume off the backs of what? Is Broadcom really strong today? Broadcom's not. So what is this? Qualcomm's going crazy. That's interesting. TSM's very strong. That's a good looking chart right there. Oh, Intel. There you go. There you go. Intel. Yeah, Intel's going insane. That's why. That will do it. Good for them. Good for my long shares that I'm never going to look at. Because, well, I look when it's going higher. So this looks like a channel breakout to me in back test on TSM. I kind of like the look of this one. And we will show you the Intel, because holy moly, what a move. I remember, I think it was last Friday. Where's my Intel chart? I was watching Trader TV Live, and they were talking about the MOC orders, and they were like, Intel is way up here, over 40, and it's a massive MOC buy. They're buying up here. Crazy. They gave us 1 day of tight consolidation, and then just boom. Crazy move there. So this is absolutely cooking on a high time frame. And honestly, the daily doesn't even do it justice. Okay, if you are long, this is a great time to take profit on options as we wick up and fill this gap. It's a long-term mitigation block to come up here and fill this gap. So definitely consider taking some off the table there. Long-term, looks like we're going to go higher though. Looks like we are going much higher. Broke the downtrend line, back tested and pushing up higher. Next stop, 50s. They thought I was kidding when I said Intel was a $50 stock next year. Of course, it's a lot less believable down here, to be fair. Okay. NVIDIA doing a whole lot of nothing. Should have been patient and got my original fill. Let's see. Is there anywhere else I'd be interested in this? I'd like to see it back test here and hold. Seems like it's going to, oh yeah, I like that. I'm just gonna get some skin in the game there. Looks like it's gonna catch. I would like to average into this small position. by putting some orders in the imbalance that's being opened up here so it can come back, wick down, and then continue up. But I just saw the velocity on that candle and I was like, oh, that looks ready. So sometimes you got to hit the market order. We'll see if I regret it, but I think I should be able to get a couple fills a little bit under my cost basis here if it pushes back, and then still get get a quick push up. If I'm wrong, we'll stop out right under there. I'll give it this wick. Okay. And think about where I'll trim. I will just take a little off here. Nice and simple double top. Seeing some more double tops here. If we push higher, take some off there. And I will leave runners. That's fine. Cool. So basically we are playing a potential double bottom and flag formation on NVIDIA here. We saw a nice pop in the candle. We want to see that buyer that stepped in there hold, keep pushing up. We don't want to see that get reverted. Q's cooperating. I just heard a iceberg NQ sell on one of my scanners. So that usually means that there's a big seller sitting here. Doesn't mean we can't push through. It just means that somebody big is starting to sell off into here. So it wouldn't be too unheard of to see bulls tire out. And if so, then we would see probably a little pullback, maybe to 622. Could be deeper to 620. So keep an eye here. Oops. Still seems pretty constructive, but I could see these top wicks being a sign of needing to push down again. And SPY is trading into its bull pivot, so there is potential for a little bit of rejection there as well. In general, not too worried, though. This is looking pretty constructive. We'll keep an eye on VIX as well. They both look pretty decent, which probably means I'm seeing what I want to see in the Q's chart. We'll see if that plays out, and we do need to pull back. But I side with the Qs if they both look constructive because markets like to go up. And my directional bias is up, even if it might not be for today. Yeah, still a big congestion zone at that 683 strike, 682, 683. We'll just focus this on the 683. So in theory, this box is our pull. It's our draw. So any dip, since we're in positive gamma, should want to be eaten up and come back to this magnet. So that's what I would expect to see. So see, there's like top wicks and there's a seller here. So it probably does dip, but I just wouldn't expect a big knife. I would expect stronger structure, tighter structure than we've seen in the morning here, and more like the structure we see here, where the dips are smaller and they get bought harder. Still some decent dips, but in general, the bulls are in control. And you'd like to see that. So just like right here, we're kind of flagging upwards, not the super best flag here. We're top wicking into this resistance. Just like here, we're flagging upwards, top wicking into this resistance. So it needs to wash out into this open space. Maybe it needs to wash out here. Maybe it needs to wash out deeper here. But in general, this doesn't feel like something that'll be easy to short like it was in the morning when the moves are really, really juicing to the downside. Kind of what we'd like to see. So we did see a buyer. Sellers did step back in, and we aren't seeing the confirmation we want yet in the bottom of the zone. This is where we would expect the buyer to step in. So this is what we need. I want to see this candle close strong. Otherwise, there's a chance that this buyer was not strong enough and we need to come down again. If so, no worries. Take a $5 haircut, $10 haircut. But I think we might be onto something here with this carve out. And yep, SPY just got a big stick. So actually, See if they'll let me in on a little back wick here. I can't chase just market because I'll get a bad fill, but that's okay. See, because then it comes back down on a jitter and then should keep pushing up with momentum. And now we put our stop right under this candle because we don't want it if it loses this. That's how we protect ourselves. And then we're looking for a range sweep here, assuming this buyer is strong enough to push us up. So sloppy on the entries here, sloppy guys, but I think we are identifying what's going on and we'll see if it pays. Sometimes you can be right because your entry's bad, you don't get paid. So that's always a possibility too. So far, not too shabby. Okay. We'll take the trim here. Take another here. I just now see that I purchased 1 share on this order in my rush. So that's okay. We're 1 share richer, guys. We're 1 share richer. I'm not going to chase anymore. I'll get 9 more shares if they give me a dip, so I have a round number just for my OCD. Buy 9 there. Come on downtown. There we go. All right, now we can go. Nudge this down just a hint. Just a hint in case it doesn't quite sweep them fully. I want to check in on my baby ONDS too. A little top in action. That's okay. It can take a breath. It can take a breather. It's been a good day. I have time on my contracts. Checking in with Rivian. What's going on, baby? What's going on here? What are you reaching for? This is a name where we really want to be buying dips. Just got to make sure they're the right dips. It's pretty aggressive ramp up here. I'd like to see trading sideways here between, right about pinned around the 1750. That's the big high gamma level for this week. So this week totally makes sense to sell it when it's above it, buy it when it's below it. I'd like a little bit more of a discount, maybe in the 1680 to 1660 area. That'd be pretty cool. And hey, maybe if I'm wrong, they just need to whip it all the way back down to the 50%, down at 1550 or 65. I would be very likely getting irresponsibly long if it did that. My NVIDIA trade is not working. Let's see why. Am I exit liquidity, guys? Did I misidentify a top wick as a genuine buyer? I might have. This day has been tough for that kind of thing. So at this point, I could give it this much room. I think I just let it wiggle out if it's got to. I'm gonna give it just a few ticks more than this though. Just like that. See, like this feels like a buyer, right? I don't know. This feels like a buyer. It makes me want to give it just a little more wiggle room. I'll give it this wick and we'll not change it again. That's a fine. Yeah, $12. That's fine. I want to let it cook. Although it very easily could just come all the way down. TQQ trade still in the green, but nothing really going on there. Kind of to be expected though. We are just chopping and pinning. I think it's going to be a boring session here for the rest of the day. Good time to hang it up probably. Oh, that's a little bit. That's a little bit on cues. Maybe we do get going. That's looking better. We like that. Now maybe our NVIDIA will catch up. Just lagging. See, I'm always greedy and I want to play the laggard if I think that I'm finding a bottom or a pivot point. Often it's just better to play the stronger name. I bet if we look at Apple, it's been doing a lot more than NVIDIA the past 10 minutes. Sorry, catching up on comments here. SMR popping. We can take a look at that. So it looks like, all right, my TQQQ trim did just hit. Wow, SMR definitely popping there. Let's look high time frame, see if this is a... That's looking pretty darn bottoming to me. It's a nice Adam and Eve bottom, sharp and then rounded. This looks like one that I will, I'll buy 5 shares and swing him. Let's see, give me right here. Give me 1 tick down. Oh, come on. All right, fine. There we go. All right. Just for fun, it looks like a base. I like taking some trades with you guys. I'm not going to break the bank though, so we'll see what 5 shares can do. Just so I don't have to actually watch it. I do like the look of that though, for a swing for sure. Nvidia's starting to shape up. We're going to just let that do its thing. No need to watch a boiling pot. Intel, absolutely. Chadley breaking through the high. A nice ascending triangle. This one, heck, I don't know. It's into a resistance, into that gap fill. I think it probably eats up and wants more, but I would have to say that I don't know if the risk reward is there at this point on Intel. FISV was added to the list today by Talk. I don't know what that is, so let's look at that. Oh, Oh, that's that's an acronym, not a ticker. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you guys trade off the imbalances too. Those are great. Yeah, Dell got the Trump pump, I believe. You said something about Dell. Let's look at that. That's the Trump pump right there. This thing got legs. Let's look at the daily. I could have some good legs on it. Coming up into this big, crucial pivot point here. And this probably is a big base. Kind of like Dell. A lot of charts are shaping up. Yeah, crypto's insane. Talk, did you catch some of that? I'm playing MSTU. I'm not looking because I'm going to scare myself if I do. Whoops. But I got in yesterday, right around close. It just looked like capitulation to me. A little bit of a pullback, but hey, we're in from down here, so we're chilling. I'd like to add some more, actually. Ethereum got the 50% pullback and then a higher low. That was nice. Bitcoin they both basically retraced exactly to the breakout. Let's see if I can show you that on iBit here. This is a really nice pattern to look for, guys. So you see where it broke out here, these gap ups right here. Very often this poor structure where it broke out from, that's where it wants to revisit. I'm sure it undercut it a little bit, but really it just came back to the neckline of this actual bottom. So swept all of these out. If you got long on the bottom one here, you had 1 day of pain, maybe 2 days of pain, and you're instantly up a good amount. And you probably sniped the bottom for the next, I don't know, call it month minimum, probably a lot longer. So yeah, good job if you got involved in crypto. If not, wait for a higher low. I'm not even like a crypto bull long term. I just look at the ratio chart between Bitcoin and gold. It makes me not want to touch Bitcoin. That being said, this is the one thing that gold bulls didn't want to see. And it kind of is the bull case for crypto here, where if crypto is finally getting a bid and gold is having a hard time holding this level, we could see a failure of this pennant. Not sure though. They just look so strong otherwise. I mean, look at silver there. Just absolutely beautiful. We got in at 47. Oh, 46. I'm sorry. Yeah, 46. I sold my options way too early. I just sold at the end of the next day. 2 days. Did take a day trade here. That was nice. But in general, feeling kind of FOMO-y on this guy. I would love it if it came back to 50 and started basing out. But until then, I'll look at other metals. So palladium, looking very, very good to me. This is the exact type of price action we wanted to see today. So we bought palladium yesterday at 130. Yeah, 130. And the thesis there was we have the downtrend line pennant here. We have the gap through it. Like I said with the Bitcoin, when you're breaking out on poor structure, the most bullish thing you can do is retest it right away and just push up. Bitcoin had the gaps and just drifted up, so it needed to come all the way back. I like this price action. I like the theme. I like the macro of the theme. And let's pull out to the weekly just to show how insanely bullish this chart is. It is an absolutely beautiful stage one breakout. Show you stage one's right there. When it broke this, boom. All right, what sold? I think I got stopped out of my NVIDIA. Let's take a look at that. Yep. Let's look at why. Was my stop too tight? Are they just running liquidity? I don't really want to be in that. Looks like my TQQ trade is going to be break even, so probably going to close that too. I will look at it real quick before I make that decision. But in general, end of the day, not getting much traction here. Probably no real trade in either direction for me. Just some swing trades for the next day or two. Yeah, can't buy that. We was wrong, boys. We was wrong. It's all right. Heavy. We are watching the same zone. If this fails, then I'll get out. I think probably it's pretty pinned. Don't think it's going to do a whole bunch of anything right now. I would like a pullback actually into close to swing some longs. And I think that's the only trade I'll be looking to take here. So one green candle. See if it holds. It can rebase and I'll hold for another 13 minutes till I have to. But if it looks like it's going to lose this, then I don't want it. There it goes. Found the buyer. Oh, if I didn't have trading decision fatigue, this would probably be a time to take a little more piece. But I don't know. I don't like trading this much at the end of the day. Make your money early. And just only give some back or risk giving some back if they give you a really good look. So far, not convincing me to hold. We have 20 seconds left for the candle. Looking like I'm going to get some slippage action. Waiting for that to close. Yep. All right, 10 seconds. Just in case it wicks up. Seems bad. Yep, there's the slippage. Candle close. I don't want it. It can come back. That's fine. So, what did we do? We pushed up once, pushed up twice. We filled this imbalance right here. So if we draw a rectangle, is it going to go straight back up? Probably. Today's price action was very trappy. I'm glad to be done trading, even if that one comes all the way back to where we expect it to be honest. Make sure I don't have any working orders there. There we go. So we came up into here, transacted and rejected. That's kind of the name of the game here. We back tested this. We lost this. Back testing it as resistance. Assuming this fades, could look short, and you could target this imbalance here. 622 round number. That seems plausible. I'm not going to take it, but I do think it plays out. There's our alert. Check out some of my swings. We're going to go to higher time frame charts now, just because end of the day, just want to get a gauge on what's likely to happen into tomorrow. I think this is a flag. That's respecting. So maybe one more down day tomorrow. Seems fine. ONDS, bidding hard into resistance and a little head bonk. But I think also okay. This can backtest pretty deep, but it's definitely a flag break unless it rejects really hard. So that's what we wouldn't like to see. We'll look at the 5 minute here. Yeah, it's not great. Set an alert here. We'll see what it does at the lows. check out the other drones, see what's going on there. Got Joby, probably the leader. Whole lot of nothing today. Trying to hold the bottom. This is kind of a nice inverted head and shoulders look here. Archer, the one that loves messing with me. Wow, it's down to 7 now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Also trying to bottom, though, at the bottom of the range. And again, just another breakout gap there that needed to be refilled. And now that's where we're finding buyers again. It's the same guys who were buying here. Same guys who were buying here, probably. Or selling here, I should say. Let's check out Rocket. It's a little bit of a bloody nose back testing that 19 handle. I'd like to see this flag out a bit more, oscillate around the 20, give it a little bit of a tighter entry. But I like the name. Zoom was looking compelling for a back test swing. Breakout, consolidating. A little sketchy. Could be a bear flag. But I think this is trying to do the thing like Rivian, where it pops, sweeps the liquidity, comes back inside the range, and the risk reward is really good here. I would say probably 30 to 40% chance of it playing out, but you can put a stop right under here, and you can target. This is a first target and shoot for a lot higher first swing. So I like this one for position trade. Let's see. It is 7 minutes till mock candle. So we're going to keep an eye out for those. Till then, let's see what else is shaking. So yeah, Qs, still weak. Was the right decision to stop out and not look back. So far, we are seeing a little bit of buyers here. So in general, this setup just doesn't spark joy to me because we are toying with the potential of losing this uptrend line. We did lose the uptrend line. So this looks bearish to me unless it can smash through here and really through here. Not what I like to see, really. Yeah, Joe was back in SMX today. That one, holy moly, that one made me get out of bed. I was bed trading in the morning, and then I was like, I'm short this thing in my prop account. And I came back, and it was like 38.20 or something. So I round tripped it from 38 to 35 or whatever it was, back to 38.20. I said, all right, this looks dangerous. I'm just going to get out. Looked like an hour later, it was up 60%. Maybe I should have gone long, huh? That's a wild one. I hope you made some money on it, Joe. Such a funny ticker. I don't know what the heck's up with that. And SPY's still showing life here. Just a whole lot of teasing today. Not too much action if you're trying to be a directional trader outside of a 10, 15 minute move. If you were, then you got a lot of looks. But if you're trying to grab a trend and hold it, if you were trying to play break of market open or break of opening range, break of closing range here, break of the hourly opening range, failure. There's so many, as I like to call them, yeehaws, just throwing people out. Very tough trades. And even this, like with these wicks, I don't like it. I don't like the curl. So totally fine sitting out here. Yeah. Let's see. Crazy move in that 38 area. Got long on the hold of VWAP and beautiful. Yeah, I saw the buyers on there was a really high volume node on the VWAP or the variable range volume profile. And that was just like it's where it wanted to go. I was like, what's it doing? It's drilling right to there. It's going to reload big and the game is still on. So I don't know what the heck. That must have been a stock that was supposed to go bankrupt or something and all of a sudden pulled a rabbit out of a hat, because that's an insane. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. But see, this is where the coiling was, this 34 to 35. When it surged above, it came back and it back tested this shelf. Just saying that all of this dump, that was crazy. That should have never happened. It's in the past. Impressive. Now it's going to try to go. But even then, this looked like a short entry to me when it wicked up into this 1 minute here. See if they bless us with it a second time. At this point, it's kind of scary even. Because if it comes up here, it's eating the wick. I don't want it. No, I got filled anyway. Okay. All right. I think I'm wrong here. It ate the wick too fast. I'm definitely wrong here. Give it the candle close. It's a small position, down $2. That was scary. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So my idea was that it wicked up into this imbalance, but then it just smashed the wick. So I'm going to let it work itself out here because now we have this to put a stop over. If it eats this wick, we don't want it. Yeah, that was not a very fun entry, but it might actually work here. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We have our risk defined. All right. So what might we expect here? What might we expect? One possibility is we're wrong. It eats the wick, and that's unfortunate. And then we have a chance to push higher. But even then, I don't see much room to go higher here. Like there's a magnet up here, but it's the closer we get, the more it's going to push back into close too. Want to see them try to push it higher, but kind of stall in this middle area of the candle. So this would be good if that was the highest they could push, but still no sellers pushing us down. So we're looking for the buyers to exhaust, and then the sellers will say, okay, well, now we can push it down. So that might have been the first little seller stepping in. Now it's a battle. Sellers should be winning this. A little bit of liquidity underneath as well, right about at our target. So it looks like they want to push down, sweep these stops, and then we'll decide. It's a good level, though. Previous touches here, previous touches there. But in general, I was looking short because look, this looks like a back test and rejection. And now I'm starting to get my confidence up. I want to, oh, I don't have much time left. Oh, I have 1 minute left. Oh, geez. All right. Guess we'll take what they give us here. And then I'll look to get back in for a little tiny swing. Okay, 15 seconds. Ah, man. All right, we're not going to get a good fill. What I will do is prep my same sized order. Whoa. And I'm still in this position for some reason. Okay, it didn't close me. That's interesting. It should have closed me. Okay, I guess we're buckled in here. That was a mock buy stick for sure. Let's see if they sell it off or if they run the wick. All right, a little strange. I was expecting to be closed out of the trade at 12.50 there. Looks like it may kind of work out. Looks like my ONDS is pulling back still too. Not what I wanted to see. All right, so this is a second top wick here into our line. It was a mock buy. There's a lot of conflicting signals. I would not be in this trade if if I anticipated that, but I do think that it still is a correct trade. I think that we do push down here. Got 10 whole minutes to do it, and then I will close manually because I don't think it's working with the auto closes today. Still feeling heavy to me into close here. Still think we could push down for another day. That would be okay. Excuse me. So I'd like it if we got filled down here. Might just have to take what they give us. But yeah, not a very exciting day. I mean, in the second half, while we were on stream here, in the morning, that was enough excitement for everybody. So the thesis here, the morning was the shake and bake. This volatility, especially this dump, this kind of shook loose weak hands. It gave us some room to push up into the next week, I think. That doesn't mean that we're done. We could see another push down to kind of keep coiling us. But I do expect a bid to keep on being found into supports. Okay, we're getting the move we're looking for on cues here. We have a few minutes for it to play out. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sell half here. Assuming it does come down for us, I'll sell half and let another half go down there. I think there's room to push down into this imbalance. So we're going to get filled there on half, lock in $15. Just a little baby trade on stream. Hour of work or so, half hour of work. There we go. Okay. Now, 7 minutes left, still looking heavy. We have free rolled the trade. Going to put the stop loss into, we don't need to, we'll put it into profit. It's not coming back up there. If it does, that'd be crazy. But we just want to let it have a little bit of room, push on down, see if we can get that one more target. Looking pretty good. Nice little trade to end the day. Makes up for the NVIDIA snafu. Steady selling, steady selling. Looks like not the close that bulls want. I will say that. We have 7 minutes left to wrap up your trades, guys. Oh, and I just realized it's not a mistake on Trader Evolution's platform. This didn't stop me out because this is a swing account, a swing flex account. So, great time to talk about the great things about a swing account. You don't get stopped out at the mock candle. You are able to hold this and catch this move. You are able to use swing trading primarily to generate your gains. It's a very reasonable target. It's only a $300 target. You do have a tight stop loss, but hey, pick your entries, pick your spots, and have tight stops. You only need to hit 1 or 2 trades and you'll pass it. Strong candle into close here. Oh, it's going to come all the way back up. That's okay. We locked in profit on half. No worries if this comes against us. There we go. Back in the casket. Beat it back down. Beat it back down. Give us our fill. There you go. Nice. All right, good trade. Now it can keep going if it wants. It would probably push down here. Pretty aggressive sell, but that's where I would kind of expect buyers to step in. So no worries. All right. So that's kind of perfect, right? We got a little trade in at the end there, and we are seeing buyers stepping in at the end, showing some incentive for a bullish day tomorrow. If we do get red tomorrow, I would like to buy the dip, assuming that supports are respected. That's kind of where I'm at today. Go really quickly, check out my swing stocks. Feel like they kind of took a header into the end of the day there. I just glanced at my port. Yep, that one's not doing amazing into the close, but hey, we still think it's a flag. We still hold. And same deal with this one. Still think it's flag. Still think it's just back testing a flag break. I hold. Doesn't feel great though. So 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. Are we going to see the buyer step in? Do I want to take a little swing long? Probably not, but we're going to consider the possibility here. That's looking okay. See if it'll fill us. Okay. I like the impulse move on that. They can come down again a little bit. I wouldn't want to see it lose this. I like the velocity there. Tiny position again, but hey, for a swing For a swing, I think we probably want to drift up and then push down in cash session, if anything. But not high commitment. Just pushing buttons at this point. I'm ready. I'm ready for a break. All right, guys. We are getting close to the end here. A few interesting Mag 7 buys, waiting to see if they pair off. Yeah, I found the mock buys there. So let me take a look at some of those. If I had to imagine, I bet Apple would be a mock sell. Something weird was up. There's a mock sell on Microsoft. Something weird was up with Amazon today. So I'm curious to see what theirs is. Mock sell. Already read on this trade. Okay, so I guess that was not the dip to buy. What am I missing? Another sell looks like. Taking a header. I always cut my shorts too soon. Just such an optimistic person. Buyers are toying with this, but I can't get involved yet. I see overhead pressure on Bookmap. I see a hourly oscillator which is fighting for bullish, but it is not convincing. I could see that going either way. It's looking heavy. I was expecting a little bit of a buy into close. Maybe this is it. And looks like it's going to maybe get us out break even. Tiny bit of profit. Not sure if I even want to swing a few shares with the Mag 7s doing something that I don't fully understand quite yet. Kind of want to wait and see if they sell off a little bit, but this is nice. We're going to close the trade for a very small profit in a second here. 20 seconds. Or a very small loss, maybe. Okay. 20 seconds. So not a riveting day since mid-afternoon, but man, the morning, there was some shake and bake there. That was pretty wild. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, bad fit. Okay, whatever. we'll see what the 5 SMR shares do. So let's look at the daily candle, see what we actually did today. Let's not place an order on it. Looks like we are still having the issue where the daily candle isn't populating. But doesn't make much difference because we traded essentially an inside day in this range. We are just in wait and see mode until this box breaks. So keep buying in the lower half under 870 or 680, I mean, and keep trimming over 683-ish and keep playing this box until it breaks. Assume it breaks up, but you never know, right? In general, I think this is a big old W pattern. Next stop would be maybe a small back test of here to surge up. This is the area that we need to clear out. And then we probably grind on up and break out from the top of here. So that's kind of what we're looking for, guys. That's this setup in general. I think it's just kind of shaking the tree as much as possible, before the big move. So I'm bullish this week. I think we get continuation. Always be prepared for the other side of that, but I think we're looking pretty good. I'm holding swings. I did take some profit today, like I mentioned on Amazon. Kind of wish I took profit on ONDS because that one came back harder than I would have liked. Would have liked to sell it midday and rebuy it on the breakout. That heavy flush into close, but it is flushing right back to a pretty key support level and showing a little bit of buyers after. So that's what I've been doing today. That's what I've been up to. Rivian, ONDS, Amazon, out of Amazon, in ONDS and Rivian. Did trim some Rivian. Trimmed my SoFi today as well, but I'm holding a core position on that. But I saw the big old gamma wall at 30, and I saw we popped above it in the morning, and I said, oh, the first red candle over this, I'm just going to take half off just because I don't trust it. All right, guys, that's my door. We're past we're past time here, so I'm gonna head off. It was great hanging out with y'all. I hope you guys appreciated this. I will be here tomorrow at Power Hour as well, but I'll also be here tomorrow morning with Michael Noss and Big Money Mitch. So come on in, join us in the morning, hang out all day, and let's make some money together, guys. Hope you had a great week. Take care now.